From the people who brought you Scott and Suzanne, Spencer and Andrea, and tonight, Kate and Nate, comes the final episode in the saga of The Daughters Arnett.
Watch like Enchanted or something, and I'm all in a princessy mood, and I'm just like, Nate, am I a princess?
And I said no.
No, you're just a normal girl. And I was just like, oh, okay.
She is a normal girl.
I know, I just want to be a princess.
How does she know that you love her?
How do you show her you love her? How does she know that you really, really, truly love her? It's not enough to take the one you love for granted. You must remind her or she'll be inclined to say, how do I know he loves me? How do I know it's true? Because you wear your favorite color just so he can match your eyes. Plan a private picnic by the fire's glow. His heart will be yours forever. Something every day will show. That's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know he's your love.
That's how she knows that you love her. That's how you show her
That's
you
how
love
you
her.
know.
You got to show her you need her. Don't treat her like no
That's
one's
how you know.
It was the first Sunday at BYU Idaho, and he was in my ward.
The blonde hair, bright blonde hair, big smile. That's what I remember the most.
And I remember thinking, man, he's cute. And plus, Kate and Nate, come on, that's adorable.
She seemed pretty cute from across the room.
So afterwards, Rachel talks to him, and I'm standing there, like, hi, how's it going? But they kind of ignore me.
I didn't get a chance to talk to her or anything.
Everybody liked Nate. Like, everybody. You talk to any girl in the ward, and they're like, oh, Nate Mower, and I'm like, no, I like Nate.
I don't remember the first time we were introduced.
So I started cooking for him, and which was weird because we weren't friends, so I would have to cook for, like, his roommates and be like, oh, Nate, you want some? Just cooking, like always, whatever.
She made a cheesecake, and I remember a cheesecake, and it was really good.
So then I go to a bluegrass concert, and Nate is there in a bluegrass band, and he plays the mandolin. So I start going to all these bluegrass things just to see him.
I just thought she was interested in bluegrass music.
So then it's the end of the semester, and I find out that he's going home for the summer, and I'm staying for the summer. And then he'll come back to the fall when I go home, and then he'll graduate. So then it hits me like I'm never going to see him again.
We had an end of the year social.
And he's sitting by himself, and he just looks so tired and so bored. So I'm like, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going to approach him, which would be the first.
My course load was kind of stressful, so I had a lot of homework to do.
I sit by him, and I'm like, wow, you look really excited to be here, because I'm so clever.
I wasn't paying attention really to anybody.
And then I finish my sentence, and he just gets up and walks away. And I'm like, oh, and it's not like we were talking to a bunch of people, so it was fine. Like, he totally just left me.
As I think back on it now, I must have really skipped over some signs.
You can tell when people aren't interested. You can tell when their eye contact is not engaged. And you can tell when they're just kind of like, oh, hi, you know. Move along with the rest of the sheep. Sheep.
You give your hand to me, and then you say hello, and I can hardly speak. My heart is beating so, and anyone can tell. You think you know me well, but you don't know me. No, you don't know the one who dreams of you at night and longs to kiss your lips, longs to hold you tight. Oh, I am just a friend, that's all I've ever been, 'cause you don't know me.
So then he left, but we were Facebook friends. So there's still a string of hope, some kind of connection.
You know, I thought we were friends, and, you know, it was just kind of, I don't know if platonic is the right word. I don't even know what platonic means, but it sounds cool.
So my brother Scott talks to me about this, and he's like, you know what you need to do? You need to get a conversation with him, and you need to talk with him on the phone for like an hour, and then he'll be so shocked that he can talk on the phone for an hour with a girl comfortably that he'll be all yours. And I was like, excellent. This is exactly what I can do.
Yeah, she called me on the phone.
Asking about what he's doing for his summer job. He was working at a forest service. I was asking him about owls. I didn't care about owls, but I was just trying to stretch this out as long as I could.
I wasn't used to talking on the phone that long to anybody.
And I was trying to keep it all about him so that he would be interested in this conversation and just asking him questions, but I'd get like one-liners back. We finally hung up the phone, and it was 17 minutes and 26 seconds, and I felt like I failed.
To me, it felt more like, you know, half an hour or even 40 minutes or so.
And I remember being like, I don't like Nate anymore. We can't talk.
I think I had an idea that, you know, if I asked her out, she'd say yes.
And secretly, I didn't stop liking him. Who am I kidding? So randomly, I get this idea to go up to Rexburg for Thanksgiving. And my excuse was to see my cousin Rachel, but really, I wanted to see Nate one more time before he graduated.
And she came up for Thanksgiving.
All my friends and I go out to Burger King as soon as we get there, so he's like right there, and I'm like so excited. And I totally sat next to him. He totally had his arm around the seat. Not around me at all, but totally around the seat. So I was like, hey, at least he's not like, back off, creepy stalker, you know? At least that means like, hey, we're friends.
I considered Kate and I close friends by this point.
He was actually starting to date this girl up at BYU, Idaho.
Kate was giving me advice on what I needed to do with this other girl.
Man, hold her hand. Oh, yeah. And I kind of take this opportunity to be like, oh, you know, because if somebody held my hand, this is what they should do, and, you know, this is how I am. Just kind of like, you know, let me just throw that in there for future information in case that's ever handy.
During that trip was when it started to click for me that, you know, Kate was kind of cool.
For the first time, we were like really talking.
Well, the first time that Kate popped up on the radar, and it was kind of like,
So Thanksgiving is the first time that Nate started being interested in me.
I decided to stay at BYU, Idaho, and do another semester to postpone my graduation.
And I hugged him goodbye, and I got on the bus, and the bus driver was like, oh, is that your boyfriend? And I just smiled, and in my head I thought, not yet, but I just said no and sat down.
The clock said 10:15. I can't wait to see so nervous, but I ain't worried. Fiery nights, snow and rain. I can't wait to see you again. By bus, by car, by boat, by plane. I can't wait to see you again. And I don't care what I'm gonna spend. I can't wait to see you again. 'Cause your house is only around the next bend. And I can't wait to see you again.
So I get to Rexburg for the semester, and Nate starts coming over every day.
I went over to her house all the time.
But he kept coming over and kept coming over, and he kept coming over to see me, and that was like the coolest thing ever.
The more time I spent around her, then the cuter she became.
So he asked me to the Bluegrass Festival,
Picked her up, and she was looking really good.
and he's like, "You look really pretty, by the way." And I was just like, "Thank you." And my heart just totally melted.
We went to Gandolfo's. It's a sandwich shop in Rexburg.
So before this date, I get a call from my mother who tells me that Albert told her that Nate was going to try to hold my hand. And that's a really weird source, but my mother told me that Nate was going to try to hold my hand. So I go into the state kind of prepared with the mentality of like, hey, keep your hands available, like look alive. So my hands are like at the ready.
I kind of wanted to just grab her hand.
So then we go to the Bluegrass Festival and we park, and I get out of the car and I stick my hands in my pockets without thinking.
You know, her hands weren't like, you know, out there and available.
And Nate looks down at my hand, and then he looks back up, and we walk in, and I'm like, dang it.
I wasn't sure if I was getting anywhere.
After the concert, we get out the door, and my hand goes back in my pockets.
And this time I just sort of reached over, pulled it out of her pocket, and grabbed it.
We kind of had this awkward little moment, like, oh, cool. And I think I even said, like, meow chicka bow wow, or something awkward like that. And then we walk, like, to the car, which is literally just, like, to the sidewalk.
And she squeezed back, so it was good.
And then he takes me home, and then everybody's at my house. So that was, like, our hand holding for the night. 30 seconds of pure bliss.
Don't look at me.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. Oh no, so don't you bring
Okay.
When you're waiting for an opportunity to kiss a girl, you look for what they call the look. And so I was on the lookout for the look. And she wasn't giving me any looks.
Valentine's Day comes along.
Valentine's Day didn't seem like the right time just because it's, cliche.
And all of a sudden it starts occurring to me that this man probably wants to kiss me.
After everybody else had kind of gone inside, then she's like,
Wait, hold on a second. And he turns back to me and I'm like, will you kiss me? And he's like, what? And I'm like, will you kiss me?
and that just totally took me by surprise.
He kind of has this blank look on his face and he's like, oh, I just wasn't going to because, I thought that would be too cliche. And I'm just like, oh, so no?
And then she got way nervous.
He's like, well, we can, if you want.
It was just turning into a mess.
We've been talking about this for 2 minutes. How the heck are we supposed to do this? You should have just said yes and kissed me and then it would have worked out.
And I made it pretty difficult.
So then finally I'm just like, okay, let's do this. And he's like, yeah? I'm like, yes.
I just looked in her eyes and she looked at mine and I kind of leaned over.
And then his lips barely touch my lips. And I go, thanks. And I run to the door.
And so I went home and I thought, oh my gosh, I've blown it.
Surprisingly, the next day it wasn't awkward, which, you'd think that it would be. But we got over it and we were able to kiss successfully. And now I am a firm believer in practice makes perfect.
And that was a good kiss. That was good action.
Me and Nate date the whole winter semester, and we just get closer and closer, and things get better and better, and we just become best friends. And then I have to go to Europe for the summer, which should have been the best thing that ever happened to me. But the whole time, every day, I am just thinking, I don't know what Nate's doing. I miss Nate. I wish Nate was here.
Another summer day has come and gone away from Paris or Rome, but I wanna go home.
I was looking forward to seeing her again so much.
Maybe surrounded by a million.
The fall comes around, and we can finally be together every day.
And we started to get to know each other like our true selves.
Me and Nate, we're different in a lot of ways. But we're also similar in a lot of ways.
The more important things we had in common.
And then it became so clear that not only is it good to marry Nate, but this is what I really want.
What I realized when it really came down to it was that she was so close to me and that she was a part of my life. And I realized that I really loved her. That whatever I could do to make her happy, that's what I wanted to do. That's when I knew that I wanted to marry her.
Yeah, okay. You can marry me.
Let me go home. I'm just too far from where you are. I wanna come home. I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you, each one a line or two. I'm fine, baby, how are you? Well, I would send them, but I know that it's just not enough. My words were cold and flat, and you deserve more than that.
Nate, I am so happy that we got married and that all our dreams can come true. And I am so grateful to have you as a husband. And you're the best friend I ever had, and I love you so much.
Caitlin, I adore you. Thanks for being the person you are and making this the happiest time of my life. and now your princess.
Let me go home. I've had my run, baby, I'm done. I gotta go home. Let me go home. It'll all be alright. I'll be home tonight. I'm coming back home.
How does she know that you love her? How do you show her you love her? How does she know that you really, really, truly love her?
But really, I wanted to see one. Nate, I wanted to see one. Just wanted to see one. So the semester came to an end, and he. Yes, the semester. That's how we say it up in Idaho town. I'm so sorry. And then. Caw! I had a.
Wait, tell you. He's done eating it.
Drink.
I had a hangnail. Come on, it's bugging me. I'd gotten off. I just had a date, kind of a bad date. Not bad, but a little bit disappointing. And actually, it wasn't even. It wasn't disappointing, but it was with the girl.
Sorry.
Caitlin, this is the happiest time of my life. I can honestly say that. I adore you, and the phone is ringing.